Hello, my name is Omega S18. Uh, been streaming a lot of Worldlander lately, and I'm a content partner for Worldlander. Some of you guys have already seen my Cleric guide video, the old one, since the game has had a lot of changes in the patch notes and all that things. So I'm making a new guide for Cleric. This is my new stats as if of the moment. This is my rank at the moment. My highest rank was rank 3, but I haven't been playing the game for a little bit. Hard grinding rank, so dropped a little bit rank. Anyways, so for the Cleric guide, last time we were doing 0, 2, and then 3 5s. Due to the Valor changes, and now to get to 5-star, it takes an extra 1,000 Valor points than before the new patch. The old build is still viable, however this has been a little outdated since it's been a while. It's still viable how it is, like the old video, but this is what I'm currently running right now. You could still run 3 Seraphims, however you have to be very careful with your 2-star on how to use it, because to get to 5-star it's gonna have to be staying longer on your 2-star now. But if you're playing with friends and not solo, I would recommend using a 3-star to help pocket them so they at least can have fun playing the game with you. I'll jump straight into it, and I'll show you some of my builds and everything, and a little bit of tricks and tips at the end. So let's get into it. So this is my 0-star, no gear, as always. My weapon has heal 1, heal 2, AoE heal 2, heal 1 just to heal, and AoE 2 just a filler in case you don't get enough buildings to build to 2-star. This is still a builder. However, instead of running wall, we're running the spell now. Level 4. The highest you can get as the spell, the better. Because the spell cooldown is shorter the higher the level, and the range is bigger. And also, why is the spell really good now? Because it gives you a lot of points. Every time you dispel something from an enemy, you get 30 points. The spell applies to anything that a player makes. So for instance, if somebody puts a firewall, you can dispel that. If somebody has Hymn of War, like the armor, the shield, you can dispel that. If somebody has, let's say for instance, speed, like the accelerator buff, you can dispel the speed from them and from the ground. You can dispel fog, you can dispel area heal, the AoE heal on the ground. So you can basically dispel anything in the game that a player is a player's skill. You can even dispel Cleric wall, which is really good. And for every time you dispel something, it gives you 30 points. So if one dispel you use, you dispelled 5 things, that's 30 times 5, so that's 150 points. So that's a lot of points to help you out. And I'm running Accelerator 1 as always, and build speed 5. You don't need build accuracy, it only just makes the gray dot in the middle bigger. So if you're just used to building, then building speed up is the way to go. You don't need accuracy at all. So the use of this character is just build a 2-star and play the game from there. So how is our 2-star look? This is my 2-star, all blue gear except no pants. It's all HP up a little bit. It's a mix of HP and movement speed, 2 movement speed and 3 HP. All blue. Heal 1, AoE 5. AoE 5 because it gives you a lot of points, especially when there's a lot of fights. So for this specific build of Cleric, you need to make sure you're going where there is a lot of big fights. Because your heal 1 is weak, it's only 100 HP, so that's not a lot. But your AoE 5 will give you a lot of points. So you can't go down to side lanes. You could go to side lanes, but you're just not gonna get enough points to snowball the game faster on your other characters or other stars. So you always want to focus on big fights with this character. And then I'm running Resurrect 3 because cooldown is really good on it. It's better than 2 and 1. Resurrect 2 and 1 have really high cooldowns, that's why I don't use them. And Accelerator 3, since you can have perma speed with Accelerator 3, and the reason because the duration is 10 seconds, and the buff is also, the duration is 20 seconds, sorry, and the buff duration is 10 seconds, so if you time it correctly, with one use, you can have Accelerate on top of you all the time, and that will, by the time it comes off cooldown again, you're just perma moving fast. There's no talents in this character. Now for our 3-star, we are running 4 purple gear, 2 HP and 4 movement speed. The weapon, default training hammer, heal 3 and AoE heal 3. Heal 3, this is because this is a pocket character, so if you're playing with warriors on your team, this character is really good. AoE heal 3 is not the best as 5, but it's still good. You could possibly remove some talents and maybe one piece of specific gear to get AoE 4 or 5. I'm using white hunting crossbow, just like always with all my characters as above 0 star. Resurrect 3, Accelerator 3, and why is that? Because I want this character to be a little bit tanky, since a lot of people are using cover shot and Cleric killer nowadays, because Cleric is kind of strong a little bit in making points and has been annoying for quite a while. So HP on this one. For talents, you can put any talent here. You can put HP, you can movement speed. Tower capture is also really good. Yeah, that's for this character. And then for us is the Seraphims. They're the same build as the older video. 2 HP for movement speed or purple. White training hammer, heal 5, AoE heal 5. Blue hunting crossbow. I love hunting crossbow personally, but the other 2 crossbows are also viable. It's just hunting crossbow gives you the maximum range for a range weapon, and you don't have to be in the thick of the fight. We have Resurrect 4 and Accelerator 3. Resurrect 4 is the best. Resurrect 5 is not as good because it's 20 extra CP points for just 4 seconds, which is absolutely not great in my opinion. And Accelerator 3 because if you utilize it perfectly, you're gonna have the best cooldown on it. That's all of the build for clerics. This is how I play my clerics. And once again, you could swap this for another Seraphim if you would like to. But this is basically healing cleric. You can still play speed cleric, which is basically if you go to the titles, you can switch this to missionary on a 3 star. You can play guide, or you can play apostle. All 3 of them are still good. They're still good for demo, but however this build is only good for specific maps. So a map like Ritual Valley, this build doesn't shine. Why? Because most people fight on all 3 lanes and there's no ladders for you to climb, so it's really tough for cleric to actually get a chance to shine with speed. It's good to survive, but it's not gonna give you any benefit as to winning the game. However, if you're playing a map like Dawnbridge, speed cleric is really strong. You can run full demolition on your weapon, so you bring a full demolition weapon just like this one. Could be purple or could be mythic, doesn't make any difference. Your gear is gonna be all full movement speed. You're gonna be running, instead of resurrect, you're gonna be running holy protection, and instead of heal and AoE heal 1, you're probably gonna be running, instead of heal, you're gonna be running wall. You're gonna be running wall 5. There is a way you can wall yourself into a wall without being shot. You hug yourself with the door, like the corridor, once you're in the castle, and you throw the wall right under your feet or a little bit behind you, and you're blocked in, and nobody can hit you, unless they dispel the wall. So that is the speed cleric variation. There's also a different build that you can play, which is Paladin. Gives you 10% weapon attack, and then you would run all hammer attack in your hammer. You'll be running a holy protection for sure, but instead you probably would remove accelerator if you still want to heal. If you don't want to heal, then you probably would remove heal. You'll have AoE heal and resurrect, and then have holy protection to help you out. Now for the tricks, there is some small tricks that people don't know about. This applies to all the melee classes in the game, not just cleric, but they're quite useful. So we're gonna do it with Seraphim, doesn't matter what class or tier. So most people think that when a warrior is guarding like this with his shield, it protects him at a 180-degree angle. That is not true. If you hit him from the side, it will hit him, even if though he has his shield up. If you're standing right here, you swing, it will still hit him, even though he has his shield up. So the shield only protects you all the way across to here and here. You see how the hammer just hits it, but if the hammer goes around, it will hit it. However, if somebody's blocking like this, you can do a sprint jump attack. So you sprint, jump, why it hits him is because it goes over his shield, so over the head, and then hits him. You can do this while standing, but it's a little bit harder since you don't have really momentum. And you can see it walks, so it's a lot harder to do when you're standing still, so that's why sprint is easier. But if you do it like that, it can still work. So this is like a melee trick that you need to be aware of if you're playing Cleric. I think this can apply to Warriors and Clerics the same. Also with the new Cleric, you're able to kind of perma-stagger people. There is this when you're hitting like this, if the attack is too strong, you can do a crit, you can walk in, you can do this again, and so on, and just this is for Cleric. This is my Cleric guide. The other tips and tricks are in the older video. You should probably check them out. They're at the end of the video. But this is for the new Cleric and the perma-staggering and how to go around shields. I'm gonna be posting my Discord in the YouTube description, also the Warlander Discord. Anybody's free to contact me and have any questions about the game. I'm more welcome to happy and everything. I'll see you guys there.